you you received 9 compliments and 1 criticism. You remembered the criticism. You went to bed thinking about the criticism. You woke up still carrying the criticism. The 9 praises already forgotten. 1 negative, 9 positives, and your brain chose sides without asking your permission. This is called negativity bias. It's bias number 34 in our 225 plus bias series. My name is Kali Kozus, Africa's premium high performance thinking and strategic execution expert. Now, negative bias is the brain's deeply wired tendency to give significantly greater psychological weight, attention, and memory to negative experiences, negative information, and negative emotions than to equally intense or even more numerous positive ones. Yeah? So, negative events they are not just noticed more, they are processed more deeply, they are remembered more vividly, and allowed to influence decisions more powerfully than positive events of equivalent or greater magnitude. Consider those you've done a lot of good to, and then just one bad thing you did while they were about leaving your house. They've lived for you for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, but when they were about leaving your house, one thing happened, very minor negative, and they extrapolated, magnified, amplified it, and it now has to be the definition of that relationship. That's the human mind, the human brain. Psychologist Roy Baumeister and colleagues confirmed what humans have always instinctively known, that bad is stronger than good. In almost every dimension of human psychology, learning, memory, emotions, motivation, and decision making, gain, pain, negative information carries disproportionate weight. This bias was not a design flaw, it was a survival feature from our evolution. For our ancestors, ignoring a potential threat meant death. Ignoring a potential reward merely meant missing an opportunity. So the brain evolved to prioritize threats, to scan for danger, amplify negative signs, and remember painful experiences with crystalline clarity so that they would never be repeated. The problem is that you are no longer living in a survival environment. You are not in the evolution time, early evolution stage. But your brain has not received an update, it has not been updated. The software is still existing according to what used to be. So it's still running the ancient software, ancient threat detection software in your boardroom, in your bedroom, in your bank account. This is at an enormous tax, and it has spoiled a lot of relationships, a lot of businesses. So in business, a consultant delivers a powerful keynote to an audience of 300 professionals. The feedback forms came back overwhelmingly positive. For the 7 glowing reviews, 2 critical ones. What happens? He reads the 47, then he reads the 2 critical ones. And for the next 3 days, the 2 are what he carries. The 2 are what he remembers, he replays in his mind. The 2 are what shape his self-assessment of the entire event. The 47 have already receded. The 2 have taken up permanent residence. So his next presentation, his next preparation is now unconsciously shaped by the 2 critics rather than the 47 advocates. He softens the both edges of his content because he doesn't want to offend anybody, or he doesn't want to be criticized. He second guesses his most powerful material. He adjusts his authentic voice, trying to prevent the reputation of the too critical reviews. And in doing so, begins to dilute the very qualities that generated the 47 positive reviews. So negativity bias didn't make him a better speaker, it made him a smaller one. He started negativizing himself. This also devastates entrepreneurial momentum in a lot of entrepreneurs. A business owner launches a new service, 90 clients love it, 3 complain loudly. The owner's negativity bias elevates the 3 complaints to status of market verdict, and he seriously considers withdrawing the product. 90 endorsements, 3 objections, and the 3 almost won. So we're all guilty of this. In team management, the same. A leader gives a team member 5 pieces of positive feedback and 1 area for improvement. Research consistently shows that the team member will leave that conversation focused almost entirely on the one criticism, regardless of how skillfully it was delivered and how warmly it was framed. 1 negative, 5 positives, the negative wins every single time. Unless the leader understands this bias and deliberately engineers against it, the whole thing will always be there. The same in relationships. A couple has a wonderful weekend together, connected, loving, fun, and genuinely restorative for them. On Sunday evening, 1 careless comment, not malicious, not significant, just a comment of thoughtlessness that lands badly. By Monday morning, the wonderful weekend has been compressed into background noise. The careless comment has expanded, amplified to fill the entire emotional space. She's distant, he's distant. You are guilty, I'm guilty. He's confused. The connection that was genuinely built over 2 days has been partially dismantled by 1 moment, 1 comment, 1 thoughtlessness. Because negativity bias gave that moment 10 times the emotional real estate it deserved and the surface area. Over time, in long-term relationships, this creates a devastating pattern. The good accumulates slowly and quietly, the bad accumulates loudly and vividly, and couples begin to feel, despite genuine move, love, and genuine good moments, that the relationship is predominantly difficult, and they are maybe naturally, incompatible. Not because they're incompatible, but because the brain's accounting system is always rigged against the positive. The positive will never win the negative when it comes to, the brain accounting system. So, relationship researcher John Gottman identified that healthy relationships require a ratio of approximately 5 positive interactions to every 1 negative interaction, simply to maintain emotional equilibrium, precisely because of negative bias. So know it, 5 to 1. 1 negative costs 5 positive. Just to break this down even more, that is the price of this bias in love. So what are the fixes? 3 moves, powerful, practical, and immediate life-changing moves you can make right now. Number 1 is consciously rebalance your attention toward positive evidence. Why? Because if you don't take time, you will have toxic positivity. If you don't take time, you will have negative toxicity. Now, this should be a deliberate cognitive rebalancing against a known bias, because at the end of every business day, write down 3 specific things that went well after every client interaction. Why? Because if you don't take time, the negative will always, move above, everything. Okay. So when you write down the three specific things that went well, then make sure that after every client interaction, note what worked before noting what didn't work. After every difficult conversation in a relationship, consciously and consistently recall what was also true and good before allowing the negative, the difficult moment, to dominate your entire narrative. You are not ignoring the negative, you are refusing to allow it to amplify, to consume more than its fair share of your mental and emotional real estate. And then, number two, apply the 5-to-1 rule deliberately. Remember that? In a relationship, in business, in love, apply 5-to-1. Remember Gottman. Yeah, Gottman's research is something that can help you always balance this 5-to-1. Gottman's research gives us a precise prescription that for every critical piece of feedback you deliver, ensure 5 genuine, specific, positive acknowledgements surround it. For every critical piece of feedback you deliver. So deliver 5 good before you deliver 1. Every 1 bad, deliver 5 good. This is not something you do as manipulation, not as cushioning, but as an accurate reflection of the fuller truth. Because in most situations, the positive genuinely do outnumber the negatives, and negativity bias has simply hidden those positives. So in your team meetings, in your performance reviews, in your parenting, in your romantic relationship, make the positive visible, specific, and frequent, because invisible positives cannot counterbalance visible negatives, no matter how real they are. Number 3, create personal evidence archive against negativity bias. Build a documented record of your wins, clients, testimonials, successful outcomes, positive feedback, relationship breakthroughs, business milestones, and more. Not for pride, for protection, because the day negativity bias hits hardest, the day the 2 critical reviews threaten to erase the 47 glowing ones, you need a body of evidence strong enough to counteract the bias. What is written and visible can resist the distortion. What lives only in the memory gets edited by the bias every single time. So, here is what negativity bias has been quietly doing to the architecture of your life and your mind. It has been building your self-image. It has been building your self-image from your worst moments instead of from your best moment. While your best moments stood patiently in the corner waiting to be acknowledged, the bad moments are taking up all the pillars, taking up all the rooms. It has been writing your business story from your failures, while your successes sat modestly unread. It has been narrating your relationship from the painful episodes, while the beautiful ones faded into the background of ordinary days that were actually extraordinary. And here is what I need you to understand with absolute clarity. Very important. The negative is not more true than the positive. It is simply louder than 5 positives. The critic is not more accurate than the 47 advocates. They are simply more memorable, they are simply louder, because your ancient brain was built to learn from threats, not to celebrate abundance, because then every mistake leads to death. But you are not living in the ancient world anymore. You are building a business in a competitive market. You are leading a team that needs your clearest judgment. You are in a relationship that deserves your most accurate perception. And all 3 require you to actively, deliberately, and consistently correct for a bias that will otherwise quietly drain the color from every good thing in your life. Until you are surrounded by genuine beauty that your brain has convinced you is barely adequate. Until you understand that the beauty are more adequate than the negative. Until you stop looking at your disability and that one thing that you don't like about yourself and you allow it to define the 47. The 47 are real. The wonderful weekend, it happened. The wins are on the record. Your intelligence is there. It's a fact. Stop letting the two rewrite the story the 47 already told you. Train your brain to count the full harvest, not to count the fruit that fell only. Because what you focus on grows, what you focus on amplifies, and what you consistently ignore eventually disappears. This is bias number 34. Your wins deserve the same attention your losses have been getting. Start today. I want you to share this with every entrepreneur, every leader, and every person in a relationship who has been letting one negative silence a chorus of positives. I want you to ask this important question. When was the last time you fed the mind that makes the money? Click the link below and let's continue the journey.